The time is now. It's back to the rhymes. It's like, wow, he's back to the rhymes. I'm in the booth straight dropping dimes. Clark Kent, Daily Planet, the Metropolis Times. I write these raps while I'm under the gun. I see you back to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pure, raw, uncut rap. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Okay, we have number one, School Us, album sales. And let me show you that right here. That would be this. And I want to thank my man Sam for picking up a copy. I'm trying to think if somebody else got one. I don't think so, but I think I was just getting caught up on some receipt. So yeah, thank you for that, Sam. Hope you enjoy that. Let me know. He's gonna let me know. I'll just leave it at that. I talked to someone else today from Japan. They have a CD player in Japan, but they don't have one here. They're not collectors, so I didn't go too far into it. But they were able to check out the video, the music video. Okay, so I don't like sunsets much. If I could walk away, country song. So I did. Man, where did it even go? Oh man, I was supposed to show you. This is supposed to be on the thumbnail. Oh my god, that's gonna be for another time. At that open mic, I don't hear any country music going, but there's some guitarists. So we'll see. Did hear a good male vocalist. He's a little peculiar. Reminded me of this dude. He had the same name, Alex, as this other dude I worked with back in the day, but it's not the same guy. Just reminded me of him. They're both named Alex. If it's him, he's changed, but it can't be him. Singing well though, singing the "How Deep Is Your Love" Bee Gees, and just the two of us doing pretty nice on that. So I like it. He could sing. So my man Steve over there's he's part of an a cappella group, so I believe that's what's going on with that. So yeah, there's some singers out there, got some guitarists, and I did my rap, my reformation at the show. So if you go to Bulldog News, I think, and Cafe website, I believe you can find it might be on the YouTube too. I need to do some checking to see. They live stream the event on YouTube. So that's an option for checking that out. So I keep going back, and maybe I'm gonna wait till the end and then come back to this section because I have something I brought up before, but I'm gonna bring it up in another category, and it's just an ongoing refrain I hear, and I'd like to help those who would like to hear some of what they grew up with or were used to, and kind of at least fuse them, bring something elements of them together if possible. Not an easy path, but it's something to work towards. Anyway, I'll just go with that. So YouTube channel, Instagram, and all that. So my daughter helped me get my first YouTube short done. Thank you to her. And I want to say happy anniversary to my wife, 26 years. That was as of yesterday. Thank you for 26 years of marriage to my wife, Maki. So it's been quite a ride, and we'll just keep on keeping on. So anyhow, I made the YouTube short. It was very short. I can with Instagram I have more space, so we'll see. There's 4 views when I had already just put it up there. I don't know if those were from my own views because Instagram I don't think counts my own views, but if YouTube does, that sucks. They do it for the regular stuff, so I wish they didn't, but yeah, it kind of skews the views, right? So, um, so Instagram, yeah, it's just how good's the performance, and like I said, I'm just doing my best now. I think because it worked out this way, I did the YouTube short before Instagram. I'm gonna use YouTube short as my warm up for Instagram. It looks like because that's just what we did this week, and that's what I'm gonna do it going forward. So that way, I would have a practice on YouTube shorts before doing Instagram, and I expected to do better by the time I did the Instagram, and I didn't do that hot. I was not very happy about that. But oh well, I'll just do it better next week, hopefully. Um, oh, so the really nice thing to share. So we did put the playlist up. I've been starting to share the playlist. We were able to talk to Dawn at church, and she's very interested in what Will's talking about, and that's cool. That is good. I'm very happy for that. Um, there's something. Oh, I'll get back to it. So yeah, um, yeah, that was good. And I think for me and Dawn, we talked. She was talking about I better do it too. Is to by the time the next, Rosh Hashanah, Jewish New Year happens, so she wants to start doing. I think the Torah portion. Leon's been doing it now 26. Will 26 years. I'm only 26 years behind. So is Dawn, but if she's going to do it, I'll do it too, right? Because I think that'd be good. Maybe anyone else wants to do the Torah portion starting this upcoming year for the week would be cool. Jump on that. And Will shared that about 3 years of doing the Torah portion every week, it starts to click. It's just something, through the repetition, you start to really get it some. But you got to give yourself a little time, which is cool. All that's good. Because the discussion was around, getting the most out of what you're reading when you read the Old Testament, and it's just, uh, and we always talk about calling it the Torah and the book of prophets, or however he worded it. He didn't prefer the term Old Testament, but I can't remember exactly the other word you use. Anyhow, so the original scripture, what have you, whatever it's called. Sorry. Um, so that's the point. The point is, and that's the point of sharing these videos. And so if someone and Dawn wants to share it with her brother who likes this kind of stuff. So again, it's not going to get as many views, but if someone's really interested, the length of the view should be longer because it's got a lot of content and it's got a lot there that people can learn from. So that's the hope, and we'll just see how it goes. Um, yeah, that's what's going on with the YouTube channel. So and then Will shared he wanted to do something else that I had discussed on the last video, which was actually the intro video to the series. I'm not gonna mention it here, but I said let's wait because the order of business is to share this 100 times. My daughter's insisting I get all my tracks together, put them on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to share that 100 times in combination with offering the CD, and we'll come back around to Will again. I had a thought of doing some comedy Pike Place Market related thing, but I want to hold off on that because if he wants to do stuff, I'm up for it. I'll do it. But my daughter wants to do something too. Okay, that's good. And they were talking at our small group, church small group about I'm doing something kind of a comedy type. My wife's very funny, and what do we say? It's just she's fun, and I guess we could make a pretty funny pair. But I was like, okay, we're gonna do that. Let's do it, because I'm already busy, right? So is there anyone gonna come up with nice cameras, nice lighting? Let's do this on a higher level, if that's what you want to do. They didn't say anything. So I'm like, all right, we won't worry about it then. So just to do the YouTube short was like, oh god, that took an extra whatever 3-5 minutes. Okay, but you got to keep on doing it. So there we go. So Instagram, nothing big. Yeah, it's just I got to do better, a better performance to get more than around 20 at this point views. I guess Joseph shared with me if they watch it for 3 seconds, it counts as a view. So there you go. I didn't know that. So rules of engagement, nothing new to share. Bellevue Ballers, nothing in particular. My jobs are getting ironed out, so we'll just see what my schedule looks like. It's going to be interesting, but it's been interesting. Music for Back to the Rhymes, nothing to add. My man's still away, but he'll be back. And we're not going to do music for that, but that's the next music project. So for merch, this right there's the merch. We got some merch. That's the merch. With the YouTube short, I couldn't even. I was like, I barely could put in the rap, the rhyme. I couldn't put hashtags in. There was no space for that. I was kind of surprised. Instagram gives you a lot more space to put type stuff out. Anyway, just thinking of that because with merch, I guess I can put something. I mean, now we're getting PayPal, Venmo, all that stuff's becoming more common. So I suppose I can do something along the lines of getting this stuff out there available through the channel. Trump's gonna thump. So the song I'm doing now, it's kind of Trump related, is it not? And so now we have, okay, this is a good opportunity to talk about I'd say pretty exciting. I don't know when the announcement was made. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is running for the Democrat nomination. That's going to be interesting. Here, I will say, most likely be interested to watch a Democratic debate for the first time, maybe ever. Maybe I could have watched it. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard's coming around even more. Back then, it was kind of one issue. I'd have been agreeing with her, but I think she's, how it works. Once you see the light in one area, really see the light, and then they come at you, and then you have to reflect on how the bullying works. Then you really start checking off the boxes a lot of times. You're like, oh, well, maybe you reevaluate your positions across the board, and all of a sudden, you're coming to the right issue by issue. Because it just starts lining up because you're questioning, you're asking questions, the right questions. So with him in there, and he says he's the poster child for the, what did he say? He says he's not anti-vax, but so that's not how he would describe himself. Certainly he's anti-toxicity into the body. And he studied that, and so he's got a science background, a law background, and it's a good blend for challenging a lot of this stuff. And so that's put him as in the forefront, the face of the questioning movement, basically. So we'll just see. I mean, it's interesting, and because he went and spoke at Hillsdale College, right? So Hillsdale College, how often is a Democrat even interested to speak there? And he appreciates. See, this is the stuff I don't get. I really don't get it, And I haven't looked at his policy up and down. I mean, they use the term classical liberalism, classical liberal, and maybe he would describe himself that way. Maybe old school Kennedy party would, classic liberal. Does that make you a Democrat? I don't know, but modern day Democrat Party is not that. They're more into shouting people down, not having thoughtful discussion, it would appear. So I don't know what, again, I think he might just be in it just to make some noise. I mean, he's smart enough, I think, to realize he would never win in the Republican side. Now, Roger Stone put forward the idea of a Trump-Kennedy ticket, president, vice president, and I thought, I don't think that would work because I could be wrong, but I just think a lot of Republicans, if a guy calls himself a Democrat, because how does that work? You would never vote for a Democrat, and you're voting for the guy to be next in line. It just doesn't work. I just don't see it. And it's kind of fun to talk about. Of course, he'd be running to the right of Trump when it comes to the vaccine and things like that, which is interesting too. So it just makes, to me, it just makes politics very interesting. That's why, and I was watching his just talk. It's an hour talk at Hillsdale, and if I didn't run out of time, I'd have kept watching it. It's very interesting. Of course, yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else is somewhat predictable. Um, I would say at this point, it's a long ways to go, of course, but yeah, I'll leave it at that. And then You Will Be Glorified. Again, I saw a good singer yesterday, but is he a believer? He's pretty odd. I don't know. Odd, but what have you. But what I wanted to share was what I've been hearing, and they were sharing in church today, or in the Sunday school, was we had Joe, we had the two Lynn's singing. The old hymns have a lot richer when it comes to doctrine in the song, whereas Joe pointed out that the contemporary songs, are more feel good, and they don't really have much depth to them. And so if you talk about country, classic country versus contemporary, I don't know if that's part of the dispute. I've been thinking real hard on the difference of those. I think they probably used a banjo some, right, in more classic country, fiddle, some up tempo stuff possibly. I don't know the exact difference. I'm still studying it, but it seems that now it's kind of more rock sounding, I guess, and that's bothersome to you. If you were listening to country back in the day, it was clearly a different sound, I guess, than rock, whereas now they're kind of blended, I suppose. A lot of electric guitar. It sounds great to me, the electric guitar, and just people just don't consider, because I think maybe more classic country be probably less electric, more, I don't know if it's more acoustic guitar, but not the heavy, anyway, I don't know, but that's what people are not happy with. They took away another countdown show, and it's like, what, in 1 month you take away 2 countdown shows? I mean, this is outrageous. But I did find on the bowl at 7 p.m. they have the top 7. That might be a local call-in. Something's going on. So if I remember, maybe I'll listen to the top 7 at 7 on the bowl. I'm calling it the Bull. I'm sorry, the Wolf. 100.7, whatever that is. It's the Wolf. Sorry. They probably don't care. They're like, we're the only game in town at this point. But now you took away the countdown show for the National. That was a bummer. I had to process that early this morning. I wasn't too excited. So anyway, if I'm working on worships music, because then we talk about the Jesus Revolution. It's very surface, very emotional. You bring people in, but it's no depth. It's not rooted. Of course, what we're talking about with Will is very rooted, where the Christian intelligentsia or what have you is somewhere in between. There's some more depth, more thought, but it's not going the distance because you're not. Anyway, so that's it. So you can do it, though. You can make worship songs that have good lyrics and a good sound and make everyone happy, I think. You can probably try to make hymns now, too, I suppose. I don't know. Is anyone these days writing hymns? I don't know. It's funny because I thought sometimes in the hymns there's not really a chorus, but then the one we're singing today is from the late 1800s. It did have a chorus. So I guess it just depends on the song, but they clearly have like 4 verses or something, right? So, okay, well, I will get back to the rhymes. What other thing I thought It happened only once where I saw two people spraying graffiti in two different locations on one drive home, and it's only happened once. But I was like, what if the mayor authorized people, or whatever you want to say, we'll say, hey, we'll look the other way. If you want to throw eggs at these guys while they're spray painting on the wall and you're just driving by, don't go crazy. Don't shoot it. Don't do any eggs. No problem. You want to throw eggs at them? Do that. Maybe they'd stop. Right? What else can you do? Especially if you're driving by, they're letting cars drive by and they're sitting there spraying away because you probably don't know what you can do. But I think you could throw eggs at them. Kind of not exactly harmless, kind of harmless though, right? Well, have some eggs thrown at you while you're spraying graffiti, messing up the city even worse. I think that might work. So, okay, I'll get back to the rhymes. We'll just stop there. All right, so here's what I got so far. Again, the song Holier Than Thou, Hillary and the Never Trumpers. Holier than thou are we now. Don't have a cow because you ain't the cat's meow. Frustration for a situation beyond your control. Do what you had to roll the polls. We're dealing with career Pauls. Never lived outside that bubble. Once it got burst, they cursed. Unrehearsed with rage. First with disbelief, good grief. You was court counting the days, still days that he ain't went away. Amazed that the crazed listen to him, not y'all, and not y'all. Don't you know that pride comes before the fall, whether it be here or the hereafter? Christ said that he's humble. Could the same be said for you? Don't you know we so holy cling to our every word? You're listening to Trump? That's absurd. Don't you know we so holy cling to our every word? You're listening to Trump? That's absurd. Don't you know we so holy cling to our every word? You're listening to Trump? That's absurd. Don't you know we so holy cling to our every word? You're listening to Trump? That's absurd. I was getting hung up on that. I finally got it going a little better. All right. That's verse one. Guess that was, how long was that? It's probably over a minute, I think. I think it was. Wow. Okay. So, holy now. Yes. Okay. I'll just say it like this. You look to us when times is tough. Won't you now? Won't you now? You look to us when times is tough, won't you now? I didn't watch it, but I guess Pence was getting booed at NRA. Doesn't surprise probably anybody, I would think. Let's see. You'll look to us when times is tough, won't you now? Actually, no. Well, we know where to go. And then they're saying, really? Wow. But they wouldn't talk like that. So that's why I can't do that. Uh, Actually, no. We know where to go. Really though. Really though. You ever heard that from back in the day? Really though. Okay. Actually, no. No. We know where to go. Really though. Uh, and I just heard it countless times. They're tired of the circus. They're tired of this and that. What are they really tired of? They're tired of, and Rush would say it often. These guys, we don't question their intelligence exactly. Their street smarts we do, but they want to be. I don't know how that works. They want to be. They know they're not going to be totally embraced by the liberal media. What is it they want? Maybe not totally shunned. I mean, I don't. I mean, Bush, was probably, George Bush, they hated him. And he said everything they wanted them, he tried to make them happy, I think, and they still hated him, right? So why not, if you're going to be hated anyway, just be like Trump and go all in. That's kind of the thinking. They're going to hate you anyway. Well, let me say that. They're going to hate you anyway. Why not go all in? The sin is riding the fence. The voters got you riding the pine. Your time's come and gone. Time's come and left. But you still trying to shine. And your time's coming left, but you still trying to shine. You got a platform that were you to reform your stature could be reborn. And I'm going to leave it right there until next time when we get back to the rhymes.